I'm ready to stitch a series of points in my light green triangles as well as my cream triangles. To start with the light green, I've made my knot. I have a handy quilter mini scallop ruler right against the foot of my machine. Since I'm using a sit-down long arm machine, I can put a ruler in contact with the foot of the machine and stitch along it. If I were working on a home machine, I would use a ruler to draw a line and follow the line with my machine. I would not put a home sewing machine foot against the edge of this ruler. So I'm putting this against my foot, and I'm going to rotate it until it's a 1/4 inch away from this line here. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but I have a line drawn right through the middle of these blocks so my points will line up. If I put the ruler right to where the line meets the seam, my 1/4 inch foot will push the needle a 1/4 inch over too far. So I'm going to rotate the ruler a 1/4 inch away and stitch to the point. That's a little too fast. Let me slow the machine down. It's at 28% now. I'm going to rotate the ruler, touching my foot, and rotating it until it's a 1/4 inch away from this point here. There, I hit that corner beautifully. Let me snip my thread. I'm going to repeat that corner in all 4 of my light green squares. The longer you quilt, the easier it is to guess where that 1/4 inch is because we've trained our eye to see it. And one last one here. Now that I've finished with the points in the light green squares, I need to move out and do the exact same thing in the 4 cream squares. I can make a knot here and make a new knot to start each of the cream squares individually, or I can stitch in the ditch, which is what I'm going to do. I don't mind stitching a ditch around my plus sign in the middle of this block. It'll help it stand out better, and it'll avoid making a lot of knots. So now I'm up at the point, against my foot, rotate to where my line meets the seam tape I've put on the edge. I taped off my edge with 1/4 inch tape just so I won't stitch into my seam allowance for when I join the blocks. Stopped at the point, back down to the corner. Now I'm going to stitch in the ditch. To move up to the next corner, and you can see how the grip tape on this ruler is helping to keep the ruler in contact with the fabric. It actually helps me to push the fabric easier. There we go. Right up to that center mark. Back down. Stitch in the ditch. Stitch in the ditch again. I'm on my last cream square. Stitch to where the point meets the tape. Back down to the corner. And now I'm going to stitch in the ditch right back to where I started at the beginning of the block. There you go.